Hey, how's it going again, old schoolers? Even though I just finished that last video, you are still kicking it old school, and I'm your host, Dr. Old School. I want to talk about, one of the things I wanted to talk about, I wish I hadn't finished so quickly, so I guess this is a part two. Yeah, about Happy Thanksgiving and a message from Dr. Old School about the COPPA law. I mean, things have gotten so hectic in this world today that, parents are concerned about what their kids are viewing, and I can respect that. I mean, back in the 1980s when I was a boy, I mean, I watched all kinds of movies with my folks. All kinds of content, whether it be movies or TV or music, whatever have you, regardless of what kind of entertainment it was. And I must have just gone on a rant. I think I went on a rant because, I just hate the way things are changing nowadays. I mean, when I was a kid, like I said, again, the first time I saw an R-rated movie, I was 5 years old. And the movie was National Lampoon's Vacation. I mean, come on, how can you go wrong with a movie like National Lampoon's Vacation? I mean, it's everybody's family that takes a cross-country vacation, right? In a station wagon or any kind of vehicle. But yeah, that movie contained a lot of bad language and, I guess, some violence and, partial, nudity and everything like that. And, I was watching movies, from the time, between the ages of 5 and, 17, I had already watched National Lampoon's Vacation. I had already watched Terminator, both the first two Terminator movies, all the Jason movies, all the Freddy movies. I mean, I was watching Spaceballs. I was watching Blues Brothers. Some of it had some certain inappropriate content. Some of them were PG-rated movies. But, that's why the PG-13 rating was invented by Steven Spielberg. Because there was a controversy about, in 1984, the two movies, one he directed and the other he produced. Gremlins he produced, and Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, which he directed. They had a plethora of violence in those movies. And people were complaining that, some of the violence that they did take out of those movies could have secured an R rating for those movies. So they toned down the violence to a halt, some of the violence. And what happened was, after those movies, Steven Spielberg came up with the idea of, let's do a new rating between PG and R. Thus, the PG-13 rating was born. And, it's like, hey, for children under 13, parents must be strongly cautioned. And, my parents, I turned out the guy that that you see, whose videos you view. And I watched all those movies. I mean, I grew up listening to heavy metal music and punk rock. And I turned out okay. I've never been a gangbanger. I don't get into trouble. I go to church. And, a lot of the times, people get too uptight about the way things are, and I can understand, hey, we're trying to, I'm a father too. I mean, there's certain things I let my daughter see, and there's certain things I don't want my daughter to see, and, you would understand that because she is 8 years old. I mean, we're in a new age. I mean, I wasn't, because of those movies, I wasn't sassing, I wasn't, cursing out grown-ups or anything. I did have a little bit of a teenage rebellion, but, not when I was 8 years old. That was between the ages of 14 to 20. But, the thing is, I do understand about, how YouTube has to go through all these laws and whatnot, and I get it. I really do. And like I said in that last video I just made, all you people out there, you really do motivate me. I mean, you were like, even though we probably won't meet or we have met, Because, I might have told you about my channel and about my videos, and, I appreciate the fact that afterwards you went ahead and, you subscribed. I mean that right here. I love all of you. Even though, I met you maybe once in my life or twice in my life, or, I've never met you and I probably never will, but you all are like family to me. And I mean that right here. So, like I said, I am going to do everything I can so I could keep my channel going, so I could show more content for you. And, like I said, a lot going on. And, send me a like, send a comment, thumbs up. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, tell all your friends. And now I go ahead and I wish you all blessing. Happy Thanksgiving, Godspeed, and may the Force be with you always.